Hi, I'm Simon Doull and welcome to Kiwi Bred, brought to you this week by the stunning Wellfield Lodge in the Manawatu. First up this week we feature Alamosa, whose first yearlings went through the sales earlier this year. Bill Gleeson gives us his thoughts on the results.
130, 130 there, 140 there, 140 now, at 140 on a 140 down to 140 on a 140 down to 140 there.
We're very pleased with the sales results. We had good results ourselves, and a number of our clients or people that visited Alamosa in his first season at stud did very well as well. I think he averaged 98,000 for K1, and over the total series I think he averaged 68,000, so yeah, we were very pleased with that.
They didn't all go to Karaka, you took 3 across the Tasman. The reasons for that?
Look, we just wanted to showcase one at the Gold Coast. It's quite a high profile sale, and mainly to promote our horses at Karaka. So the thought process behind it was that we'd take a nice horse, get people to see them, and then get them really interested in Karaka, and it had the desired effect. We've
seen Alamosa today. He's a pretty chilled out character, isn't he? Is that what he's leaving? What sort of horses is he leaving?
Yeah, look, he's an unbelievable animal, rather than just say stallion. He's just got such a beautiful nature, and we've broken in, I think we've broken in 10 or 12 of his stock years so far this season, and certainly we're seeing those traits continue through to his stock, so I think that's a big positive for the horse.
What sort of feedback are you getting from the other breakers and trainers?
Look, we've had marvellous feedback. They're obviously still going through the process at the moment, but for example, we had David Ellis ring us up the other day, and they paid big money for a horse from Penkaro Stud. I think it was 170 or 180 odd thousand for a Alamosa colt out of Kirin Belle. They jumped it out the other day and said it was a natural runner. So, and on the back of that, David's rung up and booked a number of mares. So we're pretty pumped about that.
So repeat business is always a good thing to get.
Yeah, well, look, obviously they've got to go and do it on the track, but if those horses particularly can please those sort of people in the standing in the industry that they have, and they buy a lot of horses, it augurs well if they continue with that progress that we'll get repeat sales this coming sales series.
Personally, how would you describe his progeny?
Look, I would describe them as, I definitely think that he's going to leave 2-year-olds, and with the staying mares that he's had as well, we're seeing a variation. We're seeing some horses that will come early and some horses that will be probably a classic 3-year-old staying type horses. If you have a look at our broodmare band, we've got mares that we say look are a bit more slow maturing, so we want to try to tidy them up and hopefully get a classic horse out of them. And horses that are a little bit more precocious, we're looking to attack that 2-year-old, early 3-year-old sort of type horse.
So you're saying that they're fairly easy to work with. I mean, we've seen an example of that today. The trainers must be pretty happy with that.
Yeah, look, so far, you say so far, but certainly behavioural-wise they're very, very good, very tractable, and I think that'll help them come a bit early as well.
The one thing you'd love to see come through in his progeny?
Well, he's a super tough horse, and you know, when I was speaking to Mick Price about him, like he was never like a 16+ hand horse. He was just a tough athletic warrior, and that's one of the things that Mick Price said to me. He said, "Oh, I love this horse." He said he just gives his guts every time he goes out for a fight, and he never dodges a challenge. So if he can sort of genetically put some of that into his stock, we'll be over the moon.
The service fees at 12,500 this year, competitive in this market, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. He's obviously he's coming into his 4th season, and we started him off at 27,500, and that possibly reflected what we paid for the horse. We were hoping that we didn't want to devalue the horse and then to kick off. And certainly, if you see the sales results, he's justified that. But in the current climate, it's tough out there, and you know, he's served 100+ mares the first 3 years at stud. We want that to continue. So now's the time to give the breeder a chance to really make some money breeding to him. And if they come out as 2-year-olds and you know, show a bit of form, I think the people that breed to him this year are going to be very pleasantly financially surprised.
Breeders supporting Alamosa will be looking forward to his first 2-year-olds hitting the track this coming season. We now stay in the Manawa 2 where Jayne Ivil catches up with equine vet Tim Pearce, brought to you by International Animal Health Products.
Well, today we're talking about the vet's role in getting a broodmare prepared for service. When do we need to start thinking about the things that we need to do for this to happen?
These days, the broodmare can be served on the 1st of September on. So basically, for a dry broodmare, you want to have her in the best of health and cycling, theoretically, spot on the 1st of September. There are a number of techniques now in artificially increasing the light that they're exposed to coming up to the spring period. Many studs and breeders will put mares under lights up to 6 weeks prior to the desired cycling time, that being the beginning of September, so that those dry mares are normally covered in their first available opportunity. It has a lot of preparatory work to do to get those mares cycling at that time. A lot of it has to do, as you know, the mare is a seasonal breeder and tends to cycle more strongly through the spring, round about August. Some mares obviously are cycling through the winter, but others that aren't need priming and looking at so that they're right on by the beginning of September. One of the things that's really been used a lot in recent years is a lot of manipulation with a drug that causes ovulation and helps get that precise, and that's helped an awful lot, so that when the mare reaches a certain stage of the cycle and she's given an ovulation drug, we can pretty much time when she's going to ovulate, and that's very, very helpful for management of the stallion and the mare.
When you talk about the mare's cycle, what do you mean?
We're talking about her reproductive cycle, and basically it's when she ovulates, and she'll ovulate over, normally a mare will go 21 days between ovulations, and this is a generalisation, but they have approximately 5 days where they'll show interest in the stallion and will ovulate near the end of that 5 days. The other 16 days are basically they're not interested, and there's really no way you could serve a mare outside that time.
When we talk about scanning a mare before service, what does this detail?
Well, ultrasound scans have now been used for nearly 30 years, and it's been something that's been a wonderful tool to give a visualisation of what's going on in the reproductive tract. Normally the ultrasound scan is used to visualise the ovaries so that we can see the activity of the ovary, see when there is going to be an ovulation and time that ovulation, so that the mare then can be presented to the stallion at the best time.
When we're talking about getting mares prepared for service, there's a lot more that has gone into it today than what we've seen previously. Why has this process been developed the way it has?
Well, I think it's all about efficiency, Jane, and I think that the understanding of the mare's reproductive cycle is really improved. I mean, there's a lot of people out there working very hard, and I think scientists and vets and animal husbandry people have studied this much more. Now, the impetus for that has been basically a lot of stallions now, particularly in the thoroughbred stallions, have to be served by natural service, and so their amount of the rate that they can be used and the number of mares they can serve there's a lot of pressure on the best ones. Some of them are serving up to 150 now, so that sort of stallion that's got a big book of mares needs to be used efficiently, and so that's driven this sort of management.